NFTs are indeed a use case of asset tokenization, and probably the most common and well-recognized one. By now, I'm sure you must have at least heard of the name NFT at some point, probably through the mainstream media, on your social media feeds, or maybe some of you even bought one yourself. It's really been all the rage since 2020, hasn't it? But what exactly are NFTs? Are they any different to asset-backed tokens that we mentioned in previous modules? What gives an NFT value? Is it just a fad or the beginning of a tech revolution? What are its major milestones since its creation? In this video, we are going to decode all things NFT and explain why this is something that you need to know regardless of your interest in owning digital assets. Let's begin with a simple definition. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs in short, are basically digital certificates that prove the authenticity of an asset. Like Bitcoin, Ether, and other cryptocurrencies, you can buy, sell, and hold them all the same, and each transaction is stored immutably on the blockchain. You can see when it was sold, who sold it, how much it was sold for, etc. But what makes NFTs distinct from your normal crypto coins is the aspect of fungibility. Think of fungibility as meaning interchangeable. If something is fungible, it has the ability to be exchanged for another asset of the same type of equal value. Fiat currencies, for example, are fungible. For example, if you borrow $50 from someone, you don't have to pay them that exact $50 note that you borrowed. You can give them a different $50 bill or even 5 separate $10 notes. As long as they all have the same value, you can pay off that debt. Dollar bills are fungible, and so are oil, bonds, precious metals, and other commodities to a certain extent. On the flip side, a non-fungible token, as its name goes by, is a cryptographically unique token on the blockchain. They are not divisible and not interchangeable. A Picasso painting, for example, is non-fungible. No matter how hard someone else tries to repaint the artwork to make it look as identical to the original as possible, there can only be one definitive actual version. Most of the NFTs created so far are built and operate on the Ethereum blockchain. One of the most interesting properties of tokens is that they can be traded. To the Ethereum blockchain, all tokens are just variables defined in smart contracts. There's just humans who've written the contracts who decide to assign some particular meaning to some variables in the smart contracts. To get a little technical here, NFTs on Ethereum are created using the ERC 721 token standard, as opposed to the more well-known ERC 20 standard, which fungible tokens are built on. ERC 721 allows developers to tokenize ownership of any random data. In the case of ERC 721, ownership is simply defined by which individual owns the asset, and it is not divisible. So now that we've gotten the definition out of the way, let's talk about value. More specifically, what gives an NFT value? Why are people vying to buy a digital piece of asset underpinned only by a string of numbers and codes? What are NFTs' main value drivers? NFTs are not new and have existed for several years. To figure out what's propelling the value of NFTs, let's first take a step back and examine the first prominent use case of the technology, and then perhaps we can understand a bit better why NFTs have become so popular in the first place. To start, let's talk a little bit about CryptoKitties, the granddaddy of NFTs. CryptoKitties is a digital collectibles game created by Dapper Labs that launched on the Ethereum blockchain back in 2017. It allows players to buy, sell, and breed collectible digital cats called kitties. Each kitty has a name, bio, price, and unique genetic traits that determine its appearance. Some traits are rarer than others, and early generation kitties tend to be more valuable. Buying and selling kitties work exactly like your traditional art auctions. You can make an offer of your choice to the kitty's owner, who can choose whether to accept or decline. If you wish to sell your kitty, you can select the starting bid, final price, and duration of the auction on the CryptoKitties marketplace. Back then, a CryptoKitty called Dragon was sold for a whopping 600 Ether. At its peak in 2017, CryptoKitties attracted more than 14,000 active users daily. The transaction volume was so enormous that it even clogged up the Ethereum network for a number of days. The massive success of CryptoKitties not only introduced the regular user to blockchain technology, but more importantly, it has paved the way for the NFT boom that would happen 3 years later. So with this in mind, let's look at 3 key factors that determine the intrinsic value of NFTs. Number 1, authenticity. Users know that there is only one of each NFT in existence, so they cannot be duplicated or copied. The transparent nature of a blockchain ledger means it's easy to verify and prove the authenticity of the asset. Counterfeiting and fraud is an existing problem for many different industries, especially in the art and luxury sectors. If products are given NFTs, their authenticity can be verified on the blockchain, and it's easy to trace its journey and life cycle online. Only one person can own the original, and it is this unique nature that confers value to the NFT. Number 2, ownership. Since NFTs are built on decentralized networks, the need for a central issuing party is removed. The asset a user buys will be solely owned by them rather than any other company, and they can conduct permissionless peer-to-peer interaction and trading without having to worry about third parties slowing down the otherwise cumbersome transaction process. Number 3, human nature. By human nature, I'm referring to our desire to search for and collect things. It's engraved in human nature that we like to collect things that are scarce and unique, whether or not they possess any inherent or objective value. Collectors want something no one else has, making some assets open to having a huge price tag. That's why we have collectibles like limited editions of Pokemon cards, which are sold for millions of dollars. The same concept is transferable and applies to NFTs, which are, of course, by definition, scarce and unique. 2021 will undoubtedly be remembered as the year when NFTs took off and thrust their way into the mainstream. How about we recap some of the headline events or milestones in 2021 that have defined this sector and truly placed NFTs on the map among cryptocurrency holders and the wider digital asset landscape. To kick things off, we have the Beeple artwork. Until October 2020, the most Mike Winkelmann, a digital artist known as Beeple, had ever sold a print for was $100. But in March 2021, he sold his NFT artwork, Every Days, The First 5,000 Days, a collage of work created over a span of 13 years, for a truly astonishing $69 million, placing him among the top 3 most valuable living artists. The artwork had a starting bid of $100, but it was slowly pushed up by over 350 prospective buyers. This was truly a watershed moment for the digital assets industry in several different ways. The sale catapulted the NFT market into a frenzy never seen before, with record-breaking sales of different NFTs to follow over the coming months. For digital artists who had struggled to define a sense of scarcity for their digital files that could be easily downloaded, uploaded, screen capped, and shared freely, NFTs seem to be the coup of the medium that feels custom-built for the artwork. Furthermore, the auction was hosted and facilitated by Christie's, one of the oldest auction houses in the world, and this sale signified that the digital art world has crossed the chasm into the traditional art field. Apart from NFT marketplaces like OpenSea and Rarible, it's now possible for digital artists to auction their NFTs into the traditional art space in front of traditional art buyers. But the catalyst that really pushed NFTs into mainstream adoption was the launch of NBA Top Shots in 2021. NBA Top Shots, a partnership between the NBA and Dapper Labs, are basically virtual sports cards that showcase video highlights of individual plays by basketball stars such as LeBron James and Stephen Curry. The card prices depend on the quality of the highlight, the stardom level of the player, and the exclusiveness of the card. One of a LeBron James Top Shot moment sold for a whopping $71,000. And there have been many other Top Shots that have sold for over $20,000. You might ask, why would I pay for something I can watch on YouTube or Twitter for free? I think this is a fair question, and honestly, it's up to you. The moment you bought is probably available online to watch for free, but it's the scarcity and uniqueness that you're the only person in the world owning this Top Shot moment that makes these highlight cards worth something. What followed NBA Top Shots was a massive spike in NFT popularity in the entertainment and media space, where artists and celebrities like Kings of Leon, Snoop Dogg, Katy Perry, and Paris Hilton all subsequently launched their NFT product as a means of fan engagement, and of course to ride on this huge income-generating bandwagon. And we're probably not going to see this trend subside anytime soon. What followed NBA Top Shots was a massive spike in NFT popularity in the entertainment and media space, where artists and celebrities like Kings of Leon, Snoop Dogg, Katy Perry, and Paris Hilton all subsequently launched their NFT product as a means of fan engagement, and of course, to ride on this huge income-generating bandwagon. And we're probably not going to see this trend subside anytime soon. We've also seen the emergence of hugely popular NFT collections on peer-to-peer NFT marketplaces, a CryptoKitties 2.0 era, if you will. CryptoPunks, Bored Ape, Yacht Club, Pudgy Penguins, Ether Rock, all of these collections have taken the space by storm. And then there's Loot, which has really rewritten the NFT playbook. At its core, Loot is a unique list of items called loot bags. Each bag contains adventurer gear ranging from chest, gloves, shoes, head, waist, necklace, rings to weapons. These are all the types of common in-game items you might see in a number of different adventure games. These NFTs were distributed freely to users who were only required to pay the transaction fee of minting them. However, what makes Loot different from the typical NFT project is that while most NFTs have their project direction, rules, and mechanisms predefined by their founders and developers, the Loot team has actually let its community decide their value and how to use them. So in a short time, communities have already developed unique ways to use each loot bag with almost no input from the founding team. Giving users the power to decide what to do with each NFT takes away control from a centralized group of developers and encourages creativity. And this perfectly aligns with one of the core principles of the crypto economy, which is decentralization. We talked about NFTs being sold as digital art and collectibles, but NFTs are so much more than that. As fast as how the NFT market has blossomed since 2020, similar to the world of asset tokenization I mentioned previously, we have barely scratched the surface of how NFTs can be utilized in the current economy across multiple industries. The possibilities and potential of NFTs are endless. I discussed previously about tokenizing tangible and illiquid real-world assets such as real estate and selling them as asset-backed tokens. Here are also two other additional use cases of NFTs that are worth keeping an eye on. The first is in gaming. NFTs have already made a huge splash in gaming in 2021. Thanks to the underlying nature of blockchain, players can actually claim ownership of their in-game items, resell them, fractionalize them, or loan them on to secondary markets. Play-to-earn NFT games such as Axie Infinity, in particular, give users a chance to generate an income stream through playing. And these games have been especially popular with users in low-income countries as an alternative source of revenue. The longer a player plays, the more tokens and occasionally more NFTs they are rewarded with. Other NFT use cases with real-world value are blockchain domains. In the crypto markets, we've seen buyers scooping up blockchain domain names, which are minted and sold as NFTs. These domain names typically end in phrases such as .crypto, .wallet, .coin, .eth, etc. Unlike regular web domains, these domains cannot be censored or taken down because they are hosted on a decentralized blockchain instead of a centralized server. Once purchased, the domains can be linked to a unique wallet address, which makes sending and receiving cryptocurrencies much easier. Will blockchain domain names ever approach the value of their internet equivalents? I think we'll just have to wait and see. Whether or not you are fully on board this NFT train, and whether you think these NFTs justify their astronomical price tags, I hope that after listening to this video, you can at least understand and appreciate how NFTs work and why they are touted as a game changer in today's ever-changing market landscape. It can be hard to predict precisely how the future of NFTs might play out, but the rough outlines of this economy are already taking shape. If the crypto market has taught us anything, it's that everything has a room to grow. As more and more people understand the fundamentals and technological advantages of NFTs, who knows how big this market will get. As more and more people understand the fundamentals and technological advantages of NFTs, who knows how big this market will get. Thanks everyone for watching, and good luck in this exciting space.